Hi everyone. Today we are going to see about Fermi-Dirac statistics in this presentation. This statistics is obeyed by indistinguishable particles of half-integral spin which have antisymmetric wave function and they obey the Pauli's exclusion principle. So let us see some basic concepts. The distribution or the probability density function describe the probability that particles occupy the energy levels in a given system. The Fermi-Dirac distribution function provides the probability of occupancy of energy levels by fermions. Fermions are half-integer spin particles which obey the Pauli's exclusion principle. Electrons are fermions. The Fermi function gives the probability that an energy level is occupied by an electron. So we know that Pauli's exclusion principle postulates that only one fermion can occupy a single quantum state. Therefore, the fermions are added to an energy band, that is, the electrons are added to an energy state. The electrons occupy the energy state at the lower level first and then slowly it keeps occupying to the higher levels. Now, how we fill water in a bucket? The same way from the lower level to higher level, slowly the electrons gets filled. So once the electrons are getting filled, the highermost level where we have the electrons occupied is called as the maximum energy level, and that level is called as Fermi level. Suppose if I have 10 energy levels and if I have only 5 energy levels filled, then the fifth energy level is called as the Fermi level, which means above fifth level I don't have any electrons, I have only vacant energy levels. Or I can also say that this Fermi level acts like a boundary between all the filled energy levels and all the filled energy levels and the vacant energy levels. So I have given a reference diagram and a reference URL. You can kindly go through it for more explanation on that. At absolute zero, the energy levels are filled up to a maximum energy which we call the Fermi level, and we have no states above the Fermi level to be filled. So coming to the derivation part, let EI be the series of possible energies. At each energy, we can have GI possible states, and let Ni be the distribution of particles in GI states. Now, the problem is to find Fermi-Dirac distribution law. That is, we have to find the distribution of Ni Fermi particles in GI states. In Fermi-Dirac statistics, we know what are the conditions, that is, the particles are indistinguishable, they obey Pauli's exclusion principle, that is, Gi should be greater than Ni, that is, we have more energy levels, more energy states. The sum of energies of all the particles that is the total EI is equal to E1 plus E2 plus E3 etc. So the number of possible ways which we can call as configurations to fit Ni number of electrons in Gi energy states is equal to Gi factorial by Ni factorial into Gi minus Ni factorial. That is, we have a restriction that only one electron can occupy one energy state. I just repeat, one energy level has two energy states and only one electron can be occupied in one energy state. So we know that the number of possible ways to fit the electrons in the given state is called as multiplicity function. Suppose if I have two energy levels and each level has two states, so there are totally four states. The number of possible ways to put the electrons in all four states is called as multiplicity function. So the multiplicity function for the whole system is the product of multiplicity function for each energy level. Therefore, G is given as pi is the partition function, Gi factorial by Ni factorial into Gi minus Ni factorial. The probability of the system with a specified distribution is given by omega, which is the distribution function, and is equal to pi Gi factorial by Ni factorial into Gi minus Ni factorial into a constant. So let's take log of equation 3 and we'll have log omega is equal to log of pi Gi factorial by Ni factorial into Gi minus Ni factorial into constant. This log pi will be rewritten as summation because log of pi is summation. So we have log omega is equal to sigma I log Gi factorial minus log Ni factorial minus log Gi minus Ni factorial plus constant. So now, as usual, let us use the Stirling's approximation on equation 4. Therefore, we get, after approximating and simplifying, we'll get log omega is equal to summation of Ni minus Gi into log Gi minus Ni plus Gi log Gi minus Ni log Ni plus constant. So here Ni is the distribution of particles and Gi is the number of energy states. Let us differentiate equation 5. Therefore we get, it's a partial differentiation, so we get del log omega is equal to minus sigma log Ni by Gi minus Ni into del Ni. For most probable distribution, we know that is we have to maximize omega, like how we have done it in Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law. So omega max is equal to omega, therefore del log omega max is equal to 0. Okay, omega is equal to omega max, and del of log omega max is equal to 0. So now we have summation over I log Ni by Gi minus Ni into delta Ni is equal to 0. That is equation 6. The left hand side we had del log omega, so that becomes 0, and we have only the right hand side of equation 6. So this is equation 7. Now you have two subsidiary conditions, that is the total number of particles in the system is constant, that is summation of I Ni is a constant, and the total energy of the system is constant, that is E, capital E is equal to summation of Ni epsilon I is equal to a constant. Now let us apply the Lagrangian method of undetermined multipliers. So multiply equation 8 by alpha, equation 9 by beta, and add the resulting expressions to equation 7. Doing all these things, we get sigma I log Ni by Gi minus Ni plus alpha plus beta epsilon I whole multiplied by del Ni is equal to 0. So let us consider this equation as equation 10. As the variations delta Ni are independent of each other. So what is Ni? Ni is the distribution of particles. Therefore delta Ni is independent. So we have the terms only inside the bracket to be equal to 0. So from equation 10, we rewrite it as log Ni by Gi minus Ni plus alpha plus beta epsilon I equal to 0. So now we just have to simplify this equation. So log Ni by Gi minus Ni is equal to minus of alpha plus beta epsilon I. Now let me remove the log. Therefore I have Ni by Gi minus Ni is equal to, when log goes to the right hand side, it becomes exponential. Therefore we get it as exponential minus alpha plus beta epsilon I. So to remove the minus sign in the right hand side of the equation, we just take reciprocal. So we have it as Gi minus Ni by Ni is equal to exponential of alpha plus beta epsilon I. So let us simplify it more. Gi by Ni minus 1 is equal to exponential alpha plus beta epsilon I. So now we have Gi by Ni is equal to exponential alpha plus beta epsilon I plus 1. That is, we are taking 1 to the right hand side. Since we want to know the distribution of the particles, so let me rearrange the equation. Let me have Ni in the left hand side. So Ni is equal to Gi by exponential alpha plus beta epsilon I plus 1. So this equation represents the most probable distribution of particles among various energy levels for a system obeying Fermi-Dirac statistics. That is, this equation gives us how Ni number of particles are distributed in Gi energy states. And the particles here are considered as indistinguishable, which have half integer spin, which obeys Pauli's exclusion principle. That is, these particles are fermions and these particles obey Fermi-Dirac statistics. So this equation is known as Fermi-Dirac distribution law. Thank you.